Ah, just another day on the job. Let me just water my plants, mine some ores, chat with my friends, and perhaps spend some money on buying new furniture. Do some fishing. Wait, why does everything keep looking different? This doesn't make any sense. I mean, it all feels the same, but something is off.
Open your eyes.
Thank God, it was just a dream. Or was it? Cozy games have become very popular over the last few years, and I can completely understand why. The games are a perfect escape from the corporate hamster wheel of life, away from your worries regardless of your age or gender. Are you tired of your 9 to 5? Here's a chance to live on a farm and experience the bliss of a non-stressful life. School is boring? Of course, don't worry. Live your life any way you want it. Romance a werewolf or play chess with death. Games for me always were an escape into another world, and cozy games are great for that exact thing. But there's a bit of an issue with the genre, if you ask me. And that is that almost all cozy games are the same. Don't get me wrong, there's a difference in regards to the visual style of all of them, and the actions might be done slightly differently. Fishing in Animal Crossing is, for example, quite a lot different from fishing in Stardew Valley. Farming in Stardew Valley is quite a lot different from farming in The Sims, and socializing in The Sims is quite a lot different from socializing in, for example, Animal Crossing. But it's not like there's that big of a difference in these games. It's no surprise that when a new cozy game comes out, indie or AAA, there are always at least a few big cozy games you can compare it to. Take Dinkum, for example. It's an amazing farming game that takes place in the Australian outback. If I had to explain in one sentence what this game is, I would say it's a mix between Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. That, by the way, does not make this game bad. It's actually a super fun game and an experience I'd personally preferred over Animal Crossing New Horizons. But it's still almost the exact same thing as what's done before, with a slight change in terms of styling and theme. Another game that is a good example of something very similar to Animal Crossing is Cozy Grove, with it being set on an island where you interact with spirit-like characters, complete daily tasks, decorate your surroundings, and explore. The game also operates on a real-time clock, just like Animal Crossing New Horizons, encouraging short daily play sessions. Garden Paws, Disney Dreamlight Valley, and Hoko Life also look and have very similar gameplay to Animal Crossing. The amount of games where you become a farmer or run a business and live in a small town with a bunch of unique characters like in Stardew Valley or its original inspiration Harvest Moon is also off the charts. A Garden Story, Graveyard Keeper, Moonlighter, Forager, Echoes of the Plum Grove, and Traveler's Rest are just a few that come to mind. All of these games are a ton of fun to play, and I enjoyed a lot of them, but they're also incredibly similar to each other. And then there are simulator games. They're often considered cozy games since they are super relaxing to play and you just do the work. Most simulator games are so similar that I'd have difficulty figuring out which one is which if I were to just look at the game without you showing me the title. I mean, try to guess which game is which here. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, yeah, these are all the same game, but if I were to... Seriously, how much different do they really look now? So, all cozy games are the same. Or are they? Because what constitutes a cozy game? With most game genres, it's pretty obvious what they mean. A first-person shooter game consists of you shooting in first person. What do you do in a racing game again? Oh yeah, race! So, what is the official description of a cozy game? According to Google, it's video games that generally have players functioning in activities such as farming, gathering, growing, and nurturing, and generally assisting other characters through non-violent acts. Is it just me, Or is that definition pretty much targeted towards farming games or games with a heavy focus on socializing? Actually, aren't there quite a few very different games that technically fit in that description that probably shouldn't? For example, Subnautica would count as a cozy game according to this definition. I can gather resources, grow plants, and build a base and be cozy within it. I help other characters like the big-ass sea monster who just wants to make babies, and I don't have any real weapons outside of my survival knife, which mainly helps with gathering resources. But if you ask me, I think this Reaper Leviathan would probably disagree with the game being a cozy experience. There are also a lot of games that wouldn't count as cozy games, even though I do really feel like they should be. Take Until Then, for example. I watched an entire playthrough of this game while wrapped in warmth. It was one of the coziest gaming experiences I've had in the past 5 years. It might have to do with its charming art style, its great realistic characters, or its absolutely amazing story that would make even Kratos cry. Regardless, it wouldn't count as a cozy game under its traditional definition, because there are some stressful moments, there's no nurturing of any kind, and you never really purposefully go out of your way to help other characters. Journey, Apso, and Air also wouldn't count either, because while they all contain relaxing gameplay, gorgeous art, and calming music, they don't contain farming or helping other characters, even if they're non-violent. Games like Hollow Knight and Manaspark to me are also incredibly cozy, even though they sure as heck don't fit that definition. Sure, it's somewhat violent, and you aren't really farming, gathering, growing, and nurturing, but there's music that makes you feel warm, and the environment doesn't really feel scary to me. In a lot of moments, I'm just wandering around their worlds and looking at the beautiful art without any feeling of stress, and instead, feeling very cozy and at home. But according to the definition, it's definitely not fitting. I could also see a game like Life is Strange as a cozy game, but in reality, each choice you make can be very stressful as they might have big consequences. But it's not like they're violent. You're not farming, and you're not nurturing, and you're not purposefully playing the game to help others. So, how do I actually know if this is a cozy game or not? So, maybe the issue isn't that all cozy games are the same. Maybe the issue lies with the definition of a cozy game and what we include as cozy games. Luckily, that definition from Google earlier isn't the only one. Another example of a definition is that it's a genre that features relaxing gameplay and non-stressful interactions. I still don't think that's a really good description because, again, I find some games with stressful interactions very cozy. Telltale's The Walking Dead is a great example of this. I think it's cozy to play through, even with its violent and stressful moments. It's mainly thanks to the gameplay style, and well, it has slow pacing, so I don't feel burdened. So that definition doesn't really work either. Are there any other good options? Cozy games focus on creating comfortable or fulfilling places for players to hang out. No. A cozy game is a game you can play that is relaxing, has cute elements to it, and isn't too intensely graphic or technical in its gameplay. Yeet! Cozy games are generally regarded as featuring cute characters, often anthropomorphic animals or childlike humans who engage in player activities such as farming, gathering, growing, and nurturing, and with this, all cozy games are the same again. All of these are running into the exact same problem, including certain games while excluding others, regardless of whether they are actually cozy or not. The issue with defining the genre is that coziness is subjective. My fiance, for example, would love to sleep in an abandoned mental hospital for Halloween and watch horror movies in the basement with friends. For her, that's cozy. For me, that's terrifying, and I would rather stay on the couch. So I have an idea. What if we were to, right here, right now, come to an agreement on a new definition for what a cozy game is, such as any game that gives you a feeling of coziness as you play it? I know, it's still very vague, but at the very least, it opened things up. If it were up to me, we would. Because coziness as a feeling is amazing and shouldn't be restricted to only farming games, simulators, or games with a cute art style. While I love experiencing coziness through farming and socializing, I also like feeling it while running through a beautiful hand-painted world, or while swimming around in the ocean, or while running around a futuristic cyberpunk city filled with robots as a cat. Maybe the cozy game genre shouldn't even be used right now with how vague it is at the moment. But the cat is outside of the box, and there's no going back. Seriously? So, can we just agree on this new definition? Otherwise, if you ask me, cozy games really are all the same. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me or if you have any cozy games to recommend, even if they might not generally be considered cozy. If you're curious about my other videos, here's one about how game music is taking over the mantle from classical music, and another about how the AAA industry sucks. Outside of that, again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers!